Alright everyone, welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, be sure that you've subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we have coming out. And for this video, we're going to be getting into the last of this week's Future State line. And this one is Future State Catwoman issue number 2, which will be bringing a closeout to the Catwoman line from Future State. Now, as always, if you haven't been keeping up with this line, if you're kind of new to the Catwoman and Future State, check out the playlist. I've got every single issue of Future State covered for you guys, so go ahead and check it out. Also, be sure that you guys have hit that notification bell because Future State will be coming to an end soon, and Infinite Frontier is right on the horizon, and we are going to be jumping full blast into Infinite Frontier, just like we did Future State, King in Black, and every other comic event that's been happening. Now, in our last issue of Catwoman, we saw on this train that Batman was on this train. Not only was Batman here, but Onomatopoeia was also on board. And so Onomatopoeia is helping Catwoman while Talia al Ghul rescues Batman. And with that being said, let's dive into this issue. Alright, so we pick up at Alleytown, Gotham several years from now. And Cheshire Cat is setting up a bomb that will blow the electrical systems that run the railway, giving them enough of a window to be able to escape off this train with all the assets that they came for. And so if they hit the charges just right, as the train goes into the Irontown Tunnel, that gives them a window. No eyes on the train, the cameras and drones can't see into Gotham's longest railroad system. So 28 seconds before the trail fully inside the tunnel. And this is when we see Catwoman on the ground, barely able to get up because she's been run through it. Her and Onomatopoeia whooped all these guys, but she is rough right now. And the substation explodes. And the plan has begun. Everything goes into action. And this is when Catwoman is seeing Bruce Wayne at his funeral, mourning him, wishing that she was been more like him. And this is when Batman appears in front of her. And he says, "You know why he did it? All those times cut to shreds, shot up and bleeding and broken? He did it because he was afraid he would end up this way, alone and trapped in the dark with no one but Batman to keep him company. You want to get out of here? Wake up." And this is where she wakes up to being slapped by Onomatopoeia, only for her to say, "You do that one more time and I will tear your freaking arms off." And even Onomatopoeia is like, "Whoa, okay, my bad. Sorry, I was just trying to wake you up." And then it points over and makes a gas sound, and they see a sedative gas making its way into the pod, and they've been sealed off. Now, picking up in the central command center of this train, they think they're met by their boss. But really, it's Talia al Ghul and Bruce Wayne taking the train over. And of course, Bruce Wayne, still in his ridiculous mentality of no killing, even though these guys are literally murdering people in the streets. He wants to hold on to this code. I think at this point, holding on to this code is probably the dumbest thing you can do, and he's only doing it because it's literally the only thing that he freaking knows. Even Talia al Ghul is just like, dude, you're literally playing with your hands tied behind your back. This is how you ended up here in the first place. But then we cut back over to Catwoman, and she's sitting there with Onomatopoeia trying to figure out a way to get out of here. And she remembers that her suit is magnetized, and she wants to create a concussion big enough to create an electromagnetic shockwave to open up these doors. And so she puts her hands to the door and opens it up and blasts the door open. And then she comes in, fist swinging with fury. But alas, there are too many of the guards, and she's brought down with a gun butt to the back of the head. And as they sit here with a gun pointed to her head, giving her her last words, if you will, about to pull the trigger, and this is when Batman shows up from behind and clocks the guy right in the back of the head. And so our heroes have overtaken the train, and Catwoman goes up and kisses Bruce. And they kind of have a moment here, but then they find out that there's a radio signal going out letting the peacekeepers know that this has happened and that they need to get here as soon as possible. And so there's a bunch of kids on the back of this train, and they go back to see these kids, and Bruce lets her know, there's an emergency uncoupling mechanism, you need to go with the kids. You need to make sure that they are safe, and I need to go with the resistance. And she asks Bruce, you know, when this is all done, how do I find you? And Bruce says, just steal something. And so Catwoman and all the children make their escape, and so does Bruce Wayne. And the train explodes, and handcuffed to the outside is our Captain Colonel guy with graffiti paint on the side of the train that says, Batman lives. And that will be the end of this issue. Now, I know this one was relatively quick. It was really more action than dialogue. We really saw Talia al Ghul and Catwoman just whooping butt through the entire train to try to rescue Bruce Wayne. And this all, at the end of the day, means that Bruce Wayne is going to end up with the Resistance, which we haven't seen yet. And I'm really freaking excited for, because the Resistance is an awesome team. It's essentially Bat Family team. And now we're going to have Bruce Wayne introduced to it as well. So they kind of didn't even get rid of the Bat Family. They kind of just grew up is really what happened with the future state Bat Family. There's not too many people that are different. Like Jace is technically the new Batman, but outside of that, you know, everybody's grown into their different personas. You know, like Spoiler and Oracle and stuff like that. But yeah, all in all, I have to say it was a good issue. The Catwoman line really did surprise me as a whole, and I'm super excited really for the Resistance, because I have seen these guys talked about. They've been introduced a little bit. I want a full-on The Resistance line, and I know we're gonna get it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit that notification bell, because Infinite Frontier is right on the horizon. Also, be sure to check out Rogue City Comics in Medford, Oregon. One of the best freaking comic shops that you are ever gonna find. I guarantee it. I love the environment, I love the people, and I love everything that they have in stock. Please go check them out. And last but not least, go ahead and check out Comic Breakdown and More podcast, available every Friday with a new episode. Check it out on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We talk about everything from comic books to WandaVision to the new Justice League trailer. And until the next video.